So Brenda asks, do you use the King James Bible?
That's funny. I was just thinking about that today. So, Brenda, do you want me to answer first, or?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
The quick answer is yes, I do. I don't think you have to only use the King James Bible, but personally, on our show, we use a New King James. All the verses that we pull up are New King James. But personally, I like the King James Bible. It's the Bible I use since I was a kid, and I'm just very used to the Old English, and it makes perfect sense to me. I don't have any problems understanding everything. But that's also because when I first started reading it when I was 13 and studying it every day, I had a dictionary, an old dictionary, to help me understand everything. And I use Blue Letter Bible, which is a wonderful website if you ever want to check that out, and just to look at the Old Hebrew and just get a lot of the meaning and just to help understand it better. So yes, I do use the King James Version. Oh, my camera did the same thing again.
And I would say Blue Letter Bible has an app that you can have on your phone too. And I use that pretty much. That is my Bible, the Blue Letter Bible app.
Awesome.
And,
Yeah, I like.
and they have it so you can have like two Bibles side by side. So yeah, I usually have like a King James and then maybe like an NIV, and you could see both.
I really like having multiple translations to look at because it is interesting how different many of them are. And, you know, at a high level, the Bible is the Bible, right? At a high level, the message is the same. But when you get into those specific translations, it's profound how different some can be and what the meaning is that you can derive from that.
And there's like pros and cons with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
I mean, so like Olivia says, the KJV is the most reliable translation. I would word it that the King James version is based on probably the most reliable text. Mm-hmm. So it's based on like the manuscripts is based on, I personally believe, are the most reliable. But when it comes to actual translations, I mean, there could be problems like what the King James version might translate as hell. The NIV, I believe, translates correctly to be the grave or death. You know, so you have these different situations where you trade off. It's something, NIV does it right. Sometimes KJV does it right. And the best translation, the best version is the original manuscripts. And we have to be smarter. And that's what Tina was saying. Use the Blue Letter Bible app so you can actually go and look at what is that Hebrew word or that Greek word used, what is the meaning of it, and you can learn for yourself, because there's some words you just cannot translate right.
Yeah. And, I was thinking about this morning when I was thinking about, me using the King James Bible, because this has been something that's come up before, is, in English, we have like hundreds of translations, but in other languages, you don't have that problem. And so it was just kind of an interesting thought. It's just like, because everything's based on language. And, I just think, when it comes to the Bible, it's, obviously God, when we get to heaven, I think we're going to speak a whole new language that, God gives us. And it's just the idea or the message that God is trying to send you. And so, if you're reading it and you're like, this is in harmony with, God's character, I think that's where what's best, introducing you God and you a message that, God is, that's the best version that you want to